The Egg Bowl, one of the most underrated rivalries in the SEC between the Ole Miss Rebels and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. This is always a fun one. This is always a nasty one. These two teams do not like each other. It's a big time game in the state of Mississippi, and there's a lot on the line in this one. Of course, there's all the Lane Kiffin drama. Everyone's sort of waiting for what's going to happen after this game, but we're going to be talking about what's going to happen during this game because I feel like that's more fun to talk about. Um, Ole Miss, of course, is 10-1. They've got their playoff chances on the line, and Mississippi State is playing for a bowl game. So let's see more specifically what's at stake in this game for the Ole Miss Rebels. So we all know about the Kiffin drama. I put that on the far right side. If you want to read through that, if you're not aware, go for it. You can pause the video. You can read it as I'm talking about the Ole Miss ones, but I feel like I should just put that on there just in case people don't know because it is important context for this game. So let's see what's at stake for the Rebels in this one. If they win, they have 11 wins, and that's the second time they've ever had an 11-win season. The first time was in 2023, but they achieved that 11 win in the Sugar Bowl. So this will be the first time in program history that they will have 11 wins in the regular season, which is huge for Lane Kiffin. It's huge for Ole Miss. So that's on the line. They've also never made the playoffs in its entire existence. I think this is the 11th or 12th year of the playoffs, and Ole Miss has never been a part of it. So if they win this game, they are 11-1. They are 100% in the playoffs. I think they're the 7th seed right now, and they won't really drop very much at all. So win and in for Ole Miss, and they will have won 3 in a row against Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, which is the first time they will have won 3 in a row since 2002 to 2004. So all that good stuff, all those goodies, all those trinkets come if you win this game. But if you lose it, all of that is gone. 11 wins in the regular season, kiss it goodbye. The Kiffin era could end very awkwardly. If Lane Kiffin loses the Egg Bowl and then right after the game decides to go to LSU or go to Florida or go to, I don't even know, your Publix down the street, then it's a very awkward ending to the Kiffin era, which was a great one for Ole Miss. So I don't really want that to happen for the program or for Lane Kiffin, but it very much well could. And of course, you snap your Egg Bowl win streak, and there's a chance, a very good chance, if you lose this game, that Ole Miss misses out on the 12-team playoff. So with that, let's look at what Mississippi State's going to try and do. And this is a golden opportunity for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. They're at home. This is a noon kickoff, or 11 o'clock local time, actually, so even sleepier out there. The cowbells are going to be ringing. Oh, you better believe it. The cowbells are going to be going like you've never seen them going before. If they win this game, they could reach the bowl game for the first time in 3 seasons, for the first time under Jeff Lebby. They could knock Ole Miss out of the playoffs. I mean, how good would that feel for Mississippi State fans? It would be their Christmas, their Easter, their Hanukkah, whatever it is. They would love that. This would be their first win over Ole Miss in 3 years. It's been a little bit of a drought for the Bulldogs since they've taken down their arch rivals, and they would be sending Kiffin out the door with a smile on their faces. I mean, how awesome would it be as a Mississippi State fan if you turn on your TV at 11 o'clock and you watch Mississippi State beat Ole Miss, you watch your team win the Egg Bowl, and then 30 minutes after, you watch Lane Kiffin as he announces he's leaving Ole Miss, and you see all the Ole Miss fans that they had such a great coach, and they had the playoffs, and you just took it all away from them. So Mississippi State, they have a golden opportunity on their hands. This would also be the signature win for Jeff Lebby in the SEC. He almost got it against Texas, but couldn't hold on. Could they get it against Ole Miss? We'll see. And they're at home. Like I said, it's going to be a raucous environment. Just watch out. Golden opportunity for Mississippi State. So let's break down what is going to happen in this football game, starting off with the Ole Miss offense, which has been dynamic this year. It's been the best offense in the SEC statistically. They're first in the conference in total yards per game. And, I mean, they can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They're a lot of fun to watch. I love Trinidad Chambliss. I think he's so much fun. He's athletic. He's dynamic. He's really good on third down because he's so hard to tackle. Good luck sacking the man. He will get around you, and he will do everything he can to get to the first down. And I love watching third downs. I love watching what quarterbacks do on third downs, and Trinidad is one of the best. So he's really good. Good luck running zone coverage against this Ole Miss team. You cannot, because Lane Kiffin is just too good. He will pick you apart, whether it's curl routes, whether it's swing screens, whatever it is. If you run zone coverage against Ole Miss, you will not get stops because Lane Kiffin will just completely see right through your coverages, and his receivers will make plays, and Trinidad will get it to him. But an important thing to recognize from this Ole Miss team, Kawan Lacey has been so good recently. I mean, I put his last 3 games on here just for you to look at. Against South Carolina, 167 yards, averaged 7 yards a carry and a touchdown. Had 3 touchdowns against the Citadel, and then had 224 rushing yards, averaged over 7 yards a carry, and 3 touchdowns against Florida. So Kawan Lacey has been just turning it up recently. This Ole Miss offensive line has been good. And I mean, South Carolina is obviously not the best run defense in the country, and Florida's a little banged up, but that's still SEC talent they're going against. Um, and if I'm being frank, they're going up against a Mississippi State defense that cannot really stop the run. Or I'm going to talk about them right now. They are dead last in the SEC in rushing yards allowed per game. They're giving up 189.8 yards per game, and they've given up 200 plus in 3 straight against Georgia, Arkansas, and I can't remember the last one. I'm just a casual. I'm a casual Mississippi State fans. I'm sorry. But this defense is just it's not very good. I wish I could say it differently, but this is not a very good defense. They struggle with missed tackles. They can't really get to the quarterback very efficiently. They're 72nd, which is pretty middle of the pack in the FBS and in getting off the field on 3rd down. And I mean, if there's anything they're good at, it's forcing turnovers. But even then, they're not great. And you might say to yourself, "Well, Robert, their pass defense isn't bad. They're 7th in the SEC in passing yards allowed per game." Well, that's just because teams don't need to pass the ball against Mississippi State because they're running it for over 200 yards per game. So the pass defense, in my mind, doesn't really matter. I mean, pretty much every good team Mississippi State has played against, whether it's Arizona State, whether it's Georgia, Arkansas, Texas, whoever it is, they've been able to run the ball. That's a problem because they're going up against an Ole Miss offense that has had Kawan Lacey go off the last few weeks. So that's just an interesting thing to look out for. But now, Mississippi State, let's talk about your crowning jewel, your offense, which is, pretty middle of the pack in the SEC, but it's better than your defense. I don't think Blake Shapen is an incredible elite quarterback in this conference. I think he relies a lot on his playmakers making plays after the catch. But they do at a pretty good rate. That's why they are 8th in passing yards per game. They're 9th in rushing yards per game. Ignore the 189 yard. That was for them on defense. I accidentally carried that over. But they're not good at eliminating pass rush. They've not been good at that all season. I think their run game is really interesting. It's Fluff Bothwell was really balling out, and then he got injured, and it's never really been the same. He's been back, but it just feels like he's not at 100%. He really was kind of, I don't want to say carrying this offense, but a lot of their success offensively was because of Fluff Bothwell's individual brilliance. And him getting really injured sort of, I think, really held them out or held them back because their offensive line isn't elite. But they have another running back. I forget his name. It's Anthony Evans. No, that's one of their receivers. They have another running back that's pretty good. I can't remember his name, but he's going to have to step up in this game. If Bothwell is 100% healthy, that's going to be big time too. They have 2 good receivers, Anthony Evans and Brennan Thompson. Brennan Thompson is more of a downfield, explosive play type threat. I think he averages over 18 yards per catch. And then Anthony Evans is a really crafty route runner. He only averages like 10 yards per catch, but in the short route running game, he's elite, and he's pretty good after the catch. And Ole Miss, I think Mississippi State is really going to need their skill position players to really step up in this game, take advantage of maybe some missed tackles from Ole Miss, take the pressure off of Blake Shapen's shoulders. I think that's how they're going to find success offensively against this Ole Miss defense, which is much better than I thought it was going to be this season. I'm going to admit, I did not think Ole Miss's defense was going to be very good, and they've been pretty solid. 7th in the SEC in total yards allowed per game is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. They've been great against the pass. Their secondary is really, really good. They've not been the best at stopping the run. That's why I think if Fluff Bothwell is healthy in this football game and Mississippi State can establish a run game, I think they could really, really move the football in that category. But if they can't, if Fluff Bothwell's still injured, if Mississippi State can't run the ball, they're going to become one-dimensional, and Ole Miss's secondary is their strength. So I think that really is going to determine the game if Mississippi State can run the ball and if their receivers can make plays after the catch in extensions of the run game. Because I don't think Blake Shapen's going to have very much success against this Ole Miss team. So, with all that going on, with all the Lane Kiffin drama, with all that Ole Miss has to play for, with all Mississippi State wants to win this game with, and they haven't won it in 3 years, and it would be such a glorious way to end the Kiffin era for Mississippi State. But Ole Miss, man, they're making the playoffs if they win this game. 11 wins, best regular season in program history. Who do I think is going to get this one done? Who do I think is going to win the 2025 Egg Bowl? I've got Ole Miss winning by 21 points on the road against Mississippi State. The main reason for this game, going to Ole Miss, I think Kawan Lacey and the Ole Miss offensive line travels. I think they played really well against sort of a weak front seven from Mississippi State, and a front seven that I haven't really seen be dominant at all this season. Trinidad on third down, I think is going to make plays if Mississippi State can even get him to third down, and he's been doing that all year. And in the secondary, he's going to make plays against Chapin and these receivers. I think Fluff Bothwell's injury is going to hold Mississippi State back on offense, and it's going to make it ugly. And Ole Miss's secondary, I think, will take control of this game. But Mississippi State could do it. I mean, I'm not ruling it out. I think if Mississippi State beat Ole Miss, it would surprise me, but it would not be the most shocking thing ever. Here's how they could do it. I think they need to make it ugly early. That comes with forcing turnovers, and they're not bad at forcing turnovers. So if they can get Trinidad Chambliss to make a mistake, if they can cough up a fumble and get the ball, and if their skill position plays, make a huge play early, something like that. If they can get on the grip of this game in the first quarter and go up maybe 7-0, 10-0, 14-0, and make Ole Miss one-dimensional, take away the one game or the run game. My goodness, it's late. There's a good chance that they can get this done. And of course, they have to win the mental battle, because if Ole Miss's players are aware of Lane Kiffin leaving, if that's what's going on, or they've heard everyone talking about Lane Kiffin's going to LSU, he's going to Florida, he's abandoning his team, this and that and the other, and these Ole Miss players are not unified, and they go out and they're starting to lose, they're facing a deficit against Mississippi State, and you get the crowd behind you, and Jeff Levy gets into the game, there might be a chance. There might be a chance that Mississippi State can pull it off. I just trust Ole Miss more. I think their team is more skilled. I think they match up better with Mississippi State. And I've got the Rebels winning the Egg Bowl for the third straight time and capturing their first 11-win regular season and their first playoff berth. So with that, thanks so much for watching, folks. Just always remember that Jesus loves you. He's there for you. He's got you no matter what position you're in. I don't know how this video is finding you, but however it is finding you, just know that if you're dealing with anything whatsoever, you can turn to Jesus for peace, for comfort, and He is where fulfillment lies, and He is the answer. Not Ole Miss football, as much as you might think, and it certainly isn't Lane Kiffin. So with that, thanks so much for watching. God bless, and we'll see y'all later.